one of the most important cultures if you are thinking of doing a mass assault, because they're obviously the closest. So, worst comes to worst, you can always recruit from here. Welcome to the channel, everybody. My name is Ryan, and we are back with some more Unreal World today. And this is episode number 4 of our Conquest of the Njerpez series. We are, of course, joined by Canute the Destroyer. He is our main character, and we're at our little shelter here, basically in the Reemi territory at the moment. So we're just kind of setting things up. We haven't done any attacking yet. We're very close, so we're keeping a close eye on our enemy here. As far as I can tell, they haven't extended any of their little satellite settlements or colonies yet. But regardless, our first target is the main territory. We want to start pushing them back a little bit. But like I said, we're still working on a lot of preliminary stuff. So right now we're going into exploration mode. I want to uncover all the villages and settlements here in the Reemi territory first. We must know the location of our allies as well as our enemies. That just makes it so much easier and more efficient when we start recruiting and attacking. We'll also do this same thing to the Kamo civilization here. We're going to go through their territory and explore. We'll probably do it mostly to the Owl Tribe's southern flank here. I don't know if we can really use much of the people from up here. We might try it if we attack some of the closest Njerpez settlements, but this one's a little bit far out there. And of course, we will definitely be utilizing the Kamo and the Kisi territories here too. And again, the Koivula, the yellow ones, off to the west a little bit. It might be possible to use some of the men from their closest settlements here. Of course, we're definitely going to try it. In fact, these might be some of the first ones we do go for once the ice freezes over and we can travel in the winter. That's when we'll do the bulk of our exploration and, quite frankly, the bulk of our attacking too, as in the winter when it's easier to travel long distances. But right now we're in hunting and exploring mode, so let's go ahead and zoom out. I've grabbed a few items for trading, mainly food is what I've got here. So I've got over 30 pounds of smoked meat, and we're going to go buy ourselves a dog first thing, because just for the sake of, protection, I'd like to have an animal that can help us out. So it looks like the closest dog seller is just to the north of us, which is good. I don't have to travel too far to grab one. So let's head up to this village and purchase our first dog. Alright, so our first dog trade is going to be for a forest reindeer fur, which is just a 10-pound fur. It's kind of a medium-sized fur. I did a little hunting in between recordings just to try and pass time so I could get some more smoked pig finished, and that's what I ended up getting, was one forest reindeer. So we're going to trade that plus a little bit of the pork that we've got, and boom. It's a deal, buddy. All right. So I do need a couple of more, like, other trade goods. Some arrows would be great. A bag or a wooden tub for water and food would be wonderful. So I'm going to look around a couple of these villages real quick. But like I said, we're going to be focused on exploring quite a bit today and opening up some new territory. So let's get this trading done with. Well, now this is a trade that was worth taking the time for right here. I'm giving them my fine elk fur, my short bow, and 80 cuts of our smoked pork. So you know this is a big one. Let me show you what I ended up getting here. Okay, we'll complete it. Very good. I've still got some trade goods too back at the at our little shelter, so we're not even totally broke yet, but this is going to help tremendously. So I picked up a hunting bow instead of that awful short bow, which honestly it wasn't that awful. It's been doing quite well for me. So let's go ahead and put our hunting bow on. There we go. And you might have also seen I picked up a trident too. So this counts as a spear as far as I understand it, and if we take a look at his skills, you'll see he is a master of spears and 90%, so that's a good weapon to keep on him, I think. And I've been told, confirm this for me, anybody else out there in the comments, that the trident is one of the best weapons for blocking in combat. So if we get engaged in melee, I might fall back on the trident. It is a two-handed weapon, though. You can still fight with one arm.
Look, you stupid bastard, you've got no arms left.
Yes, I have.
Look!
It's just a flesh wound.
Or with just one hand, but it's like awkward when you do that. But anyway, so that's a great little upgrade. We don't, I mean, I've been just using my knife, to knock out elk and stuff. So now we actually have a decent melee weapon. No clothes, unfortunately. We're still kind of bare bones in terms of our clothing. But I picked up some yarn. So to that end, we're going to be able to make some our own clothing now. But I need to get some more fur, specifically. And I also picked up a bag of this barley grain. And no, we're not going to be doing agriculture or cooking. What I'm actually going to do with this is dump it out. And I know it sounds sacrilegious, but I probably should have grabbed a second one of these too for the water. You know what? I'll just use this one for water. So what I'm going to do, and yes, this does waste the grains, but I don't care. Again, at some point, in the near future, we're going to be extremely rich. So I'm just going to empty this container because all I really want is the bag. There we go. So now I'm going to put some, let's go ahead and put water in there. At some point, I'd like to have two bags, and I'm going to fill one with water and one with food, just because it makes it so much more convenient to eat your food out of a bag. It's just quicker. You get less button commands when you eat from a bag as opposed to piece after piece. So that's my thinking there. But anyway, pretty good trade. Now my only concern is, getting enough fur to make enough winter clothing before it gets truly cold. So we've got to get back into the swing of hunting and stuff too at some point in the near future, but we are dedicated explorers at the moment. All right, well, our journey here starts off on the map, just kind of getting a feel for our bearings and stuff. We're right here, and I've explored a few of the villages and stuff, obviously, in this area, labeled them very carefully. This one right here opened up at some point while I was hunting, but I don't think I went in there and talked to them. So that might be our first stop, just to see if they have any animals. I'm not going to search every building they have for all their trade goods. At some point, I might do that if I need to look for something specific, like a piece of armor I'm desperate to find. But other than that, also I might look for a blacksmith. Didn't we put an order in with the blacksmith at some point? I don't know, because sometimes it gets covered up. Anyway, it might be up to the north. That's another thing too, is at some point I want to come back up here and just fully explore this piece of their territory up here. There might be another village tucked away, hidden in that area right there. You can see it's not fully uncovered yet, so we'll come back up to that. But other than that, we're headed south to the first village, so let's head that way now. And if I see any big game, that's mushrooms right there. I dropped those once when I didn't want them in my inventory and accidentally eat them. But if we do see some big game and it's close enough to a village, I might do a little hunting. Because like I said, I still need some fur. Alright, let's see. Any villagers here we can chat with? Hello. So I'm going to go through these commands really quickly. But we'll do... Okay, they have pigs here. So you hit A for the marker. And I'm just going to type out pigs. There we go. And this settlement is now mapped officially. We can go ahead and exit the way we came. We are getting tired though, but I'd like to kind of sync his sleep schedule up with the day-night cycle more. So I'm going to wait till it's closer towards nighttime before we go to bed. It's okay. Push him a little bit, not a big deal. So let's see, planning out our next move. Let's head to this area. I bet you that we probably come across a village or two just to the southeast of our location. All right, well, we've got two villages in sight. There's also a bit of a river system here, so that makes it a little awkward, but we can at least get to this one. We'll pop inside, see what animals they have for sale. Oh boy, these guys have a lot. So they have sheep, rams, and dogs. That's good to know. The dogs are really the most important thing. It's good to have a bull or a cow for hauling stuff, but everything else is pretty much not necessary. I mean, that I'm talking about in this playthrough specifically. If you want to set up your own little farm and milk animals and stuff, feel free. It's definitely a lot of fun. And I've done that before, but this time around, we're mainly just focused on attacking and then hauling our treasure afterwards. So there we go. Let's head to the southern village and see what kind of animals they've got. Oh, I hope we can exit. This is a nice little village area, though. I like this. They got the lakefront view, surrounded on all sides by some nice thick forest to protect them. Very good place. All right, so we're good, yeah. And I don't know if we can get to it without getting wet, unfortunately. Might be able to. Sometimes you can negotiate around these rivers if you're at the head of the river, which honestly I think we might be lucky, and we are. Oh, I'm very tired. I just saw some reindeer right there, but let's try and sleep a little bit. I'm not too worried about the reindeer just yet. Actually more interested in getting to this village. If we make it there, we'll probably be able to find a nice dry place to sleep too. Yeah, look at this. I can literally get to it just on this little peninsula. Went right around the rivers. That's cool. All right, there we go. And first things first, we will just chat with this closest person. Hello. They have dogs. In fact, they have two, a big dog as well. That's nice. That's nice. All right. You can count on the fact that by the end of this, most of these villages that have dogs for sale will come back to, and we will buy all of these dogs. Not right away, but as we get more and more wealth, we'll certainly want a larger and larger pack of canines. So that's something to consider. All right. Oops, I forgot to sleep. Well, let's try and sleep without. There we go. Didn't even need to use the village. Now, I think it's probably fruitless to head further east. I don't think there's any villages. There might be like one here still, but since we have to deal with the river, I'm just going to try and go back up and around this little lake system through the little archipelagos, and we will head over to the west, see if we can't uncover a couple more villages. All right, here's our next village. Looks like they've got sheep, rams, and more dogs for us. All right, you know the drill. We put a marker on it and move on. All right, the next village has a small female dog. Hey, it's not nothing, right? Well, this is one of those smaller type settlements, and they actually have a pig for sale too. So, telling you what, these Reemis, they're a fairly wealthy tribe for sure. So, it's worth checking them. Okay, we got some more dogs here for sale. I promise, this is just like one small area too. I opened up 4 different villages in just this one little section, and I think there's a couple more right over here. So I think we might be kind of in the heart of their territories, but hey, that's a good thing, right? That's where we need to be. We need to open up everything, but the heart of the territory is always the most populated. In fact, sometimes you'll come across settlements that have a wall around them, so it's not necessarily the capital, because I don't think there is any such designated, settlement like that, but you can consider it. Yep, there's another one that just popped in. 2 right next to each other. Yeah, but you can consider this. Up there's a third one up there. And yep, there's another little cottage right there. So, all right, I'll go through all of these real quick and just see if there's any good animals for trading. Oh boy, wow. I'll tell you what, this is one of the few settlements over here that didn't actually have any dogs for sale. I'd say the majority of them did at least have some pigs or a small dog or something. So, very, very wealthy, very nice over here. And there was quite a few more settlements than I originally thought. You can see several of them popped up as I just kind of moved closer and closer into the heart here. So yeah, these 3 that don't have an X, actually 4 now that we just came from that one, those don't have animals, but all these other ones do at least have, like I say, a pig or a dog or something. So that's good. And we're not quite done yet. We've still got all this territory here just north of us, and then of course these little offshoots too. So like I said, we're going for the whole shebang this time around. Well, another benefit here of exploring is coming across these blacksmiths, and like I said, I'm only interested in the masterwork quality ones, and I found one here. So we're going to go ahead and order a broadsword from this gentleman. Okay, it's a deal, sir. And of course, we can just leave this with him until he's finished with it, and even longer beyond that, too. So let's ask him about animals real quick. All right, they have cows and bulls. Okay, okay. So I'll mark this as cow. And then on the second line, I'm going to put masterwork blacksmith. Whoops, blacksmith. There we go. All right. So also, it is marked. I swear I put an order in up here. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't confirm it. I can't remember. I have to go back and check. But now we have a location here with a blacksmith order out. And we can do other multiples, but like I said, only if they're of the masterwork quality. Oh no. Check it out. I just encountered a wolf. It's probably a pack of them. Usually wolves travel in groups. I only see one. You see him there just to the south? Of course, we're in a forested area, so there's no telling. He can clearly see me. He's not necessarily going to be hostile. We've got our dog, but one dog is probably no match for a full wolf pack. Alright, there we go. We're safe. Whew, man, oh man. I always hate encountering wolves. They are very deadly animals. You don't want to mess with them. But doing really good on the exploration here. Let me show you the map. We're down here right by the southern part of the Reemi culture. And this is actually the coast right here. So it's part of the ocean or the sea or whatever. And if we zoom out just a little bit there, you can't see it obviously because it is covered, but it looks like we're super close and we could just dash over here. But in fact, we're probably going to have to go up and around because there's a little bay of water right here. But as a side note, too, you'll notice that the Njerpez have started to send out their little colonies now. So as I mentioned, I didn't notice any at first, but there's one right there. So that actually gives us a pretty good indicator. I bet you this one's right near the coastline, too. So like I said, we'll have to go up and around. That's another factor to consider when planning out your travels and stuff. But we're making some good progress just opening up their territory. Marking everything, no animals here. That's okay. They're definitely getting a little bit thinner, more spread out. I think there is a village down here, though, I want to check, too. The good news is near these coastal areas, there's always tons of mountains, though, so it's real easy to see long distance. Just go stand on top of a mountain, and you're bound to see any villages if they happen to be nearby. But let's talk to this one, and then we're almost done. So let's see here. Nope, no animals. All right, no problem. Let's move on to the final section of the Reemi culture. Well, now, this is a pretty lonely little settlement all down here by itself. I don't think there's any other culture or villages down here. I'm going to check maybe this edge perimeter, but it's also possible there's one down here on an island, but I'm not going to worry about that. We won't be recruiting people off islands at this point. So, yeah, another thing to note. Oh, squirrel, no thank you. I did have to cross a river to get to this particular spot, but doesn't necessarily mean I'll have to cross one to leave, but I think we've pretty much officially explored the whole culture. Like I said, there's a couple little slivers of area I should probably check again, like over in these regions. There might be one or two hiding. And up to the north again, that spot probably needs another once over. But this is the bulk of the Reemi territory, and it's pretty good. It's a good population. One of the most important cultures if you are thinking of doing a mass assault, because they're obviously the closest. So worst comes to worst, you can always recruit from here. But again, the strategy is all based on timing. So essentially, when we start recruiting Reemi, we'll probably be down to the last few little remnants of their territory if we get that far. So we want to use the closest ally to attack the farthest enemy bases, essentially. So these down here will be reserved for Reemi, or if we get desperate or something, who knows. But that is kind of the overall goal. But right now, the short-term goal is just to get back to that specific spot where we have the smoked meat, which, we just passed out. Sometimes I push my guy a little too hard. I don't pay attention to his sleep cycles when I'm traveling, but it's okay. Once in a while, you'll catch like the flu if you push him too hard, I think, but it's all right. Most of the time you get over it. All right, so I think our smoked meat was, yeah, just north of us. That's good. Here's our little campsite. Oh, look at that. They've popped out another one of their little colonies over here on this side. So they've got two now. Look at this. The Reemi are getting surrounded. But no, like I said, these will probably wait till the end if we even clear these out. I want to go for the main bulk of the culture first, and then we'll focus on those. But they're definitely smaller, easier targets. I'm not going to say like they're simple and you can go in there just with like a couple of dogs and clear them out. Definitely not. You're going to need some mercenaries to go with you, but not as many as if you're attacking one of the head settlements and stuff. But let's head up to this village right here. This is it. And I'm going to go around to these couple here because I swear I put an order in for a blacksmith, but maybe I'm just hallucinating or thinking of a previous run or something. But, oh, I can tell some of our meat is done right now. Yep, because I can see the cordage has separated from the meat stack. So look at that. Oh, yeah. We got a whole bunch. That was several different piles right there. In fact, that might have been all the pig meat we had, yeah. So I've got 2 stacks of forest reindeer cuts in 7 days and then 1 stack of lynx meat in 3 days. Not too shabby. We are officially on day 1 of the 6th week before the winter season. So it's coming up, it's coming up. I think now that we've done a pretty heavy exploration amount, I'm going to switch back over. Why do I have pikes on me? I'm going to switch back over to some hunting because we're going to need, like I said, to build up our fur stockpile. I really need to craft up some good fur clothing. What we're wearing right now just is not going to be enough for the dead of winter around here. But no worries, guys, no worries. I think that was a good episode today. Like I said, we made some progress, but it's only just a start. So I really appreciate you guys tuning in and stuff for the episodes here. If you're enjoying them, let me know down in the comments section. And of course, you can always hit that like button for visibility and stuff. It really does help me. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, guys. And I will see you all on the next episode.